Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in for this teen tutorial. As you can see, this look is just a little more glam than some of my other teen looks. It's sort of a chocolatey brown honey kind of look, and it's just really warm. I think it would be really appropriate for a night out or a banquet or any kind sort of, date or something that you're gonna have where you want to just amp up the look a little bit. We are going to be using some liquid foundation. I'll take you through all the steps, so if you want to see how to achieve this look, keep on watching. Okay guys, the look is going to start with our Maybelline Mineral Power Liquid Foundation. My shade is Medium 1. This is another liquid foundation I like as kind of a substitute in case I want a little change from the Rimmel Lasting Finish or Revlon Colorstay. This is another good one in my opinion. So I'm just going to go ahead and use my fingers to blend this all over. Just trying to keep it simple, in case you don't have a stippling brush. You don't need one to get a good foundation look. Next I'm going to do a little bit of under eye concealing, and I'm going to use my Revlon Colorstay under eye concealer pen, I guess, and my shade is light. And this also has an SPF in it. So I just kind of like click it out of this thing, and then you could apply it with a brush or your fingertips, whichever. I just make sure I blend it right up to this, lower lash line area. It really does make a difference. The next step is to set our foundation and our concealer with a light powder. I'm going to use my Jane B Pure Mineral Powder in Colorless, and it's the mineral sheer powder. It's not like the straight up mineral foundation, so it is really light. It has a very light and fine texture to it, and that's going to work for us. That's kind of what we're looking for, is to keep the coverage fairly light here. And I'm just swirling it all over my face with a big fluffy kabuki brush, so we're keeping it nice and light. Now we're going to do a little bit of bronzing, and since this is going to shape up to be kind of a glam look, I'm going to use my Physicians Formula Baked Bronze in, I guess, it's Baked Bronzer, and my shade is Baked Bronze. So what it is, if you can see there, it kind of swirls in some more sparkly, shimmery colors, but yet the bronzer itself is not all that dark, so I think it's going to be good for our purposes here. So I'm just going to use that all over the face. Just be aware it does have some sparkle to it. So this isn't maybe like an everyday bronzer, and this is the sort of look that I'm doing is something that you could maybe do for a special occasion or a night out or something like that. And we're going to use a couple of blush shades in this video. The first one is my Rimmel blush in Peach, and it's just a nice warm peachy shade. Not a lot of shimmer to it really, and that's going to be what goes on the apples of our cheeks. The next shade we're going to use is our CoverGirl Cheekers Blush in Golden Pink as sort of a contour shade here. I use this almost daily as my contour color, that's why I'm about to run out. And I just kind of start back towards my ear a little bit and just work it forward. Really just contouring that area right there. The last step is optional, but if you want to do it, you can set the whole look with sort of a translucent powder. I'm going to use my Maybelline Mineral Power Finishing Veil in Light. This is usually something I use to like set my under eye concealer or set this area after I apply eyeliner there, but I'm just going to go over my whole face with that for now. And the shade I use is Light. Okay guys, it's time to move on to this eye look, and it's something that's really not over the top, but I'm calling it kind of a glam eye because it's just a little more advanced, I guess, in technique than some of my other teen tutorials have been. And I still think it's very teen appropriate maybe for a night out. You know, it's just using a little bit deeper colors and some kind of sparkly shades too. So this might not be an everyday look necessarily, or it could be, just depends on kind of what you do. But I want to go ahead and show you how to do it on the side. First step, we're going to use our NYC Jumbo pencil in Iced Mocha, and it's a nice kind of shimmery taupe shade, and I'm going to just put that all over my eyelid here. And I'm kind of working it up to my crease just a little bit, since this is a little bit of a darker shade. And I'm going to just kind of blend that part out with my finger. Just around that edge. Then I'm going to take an eyeshadow kit that I think was my first ever shadow kit when I started doing makeup. It's the CoverGirl Trio. Obviously I've repurchased since then, but it's this CoverGirl Trio in Shimmering Sands, and I'm going to use the center shade, which is just like sort of a shimmery borderline gold shade, and I'm just going to pat that over the Iced Mocha. It's sort of like a lighter version of the Iced Mocha shade. So I'm going to put that all over the lid. You can see this gives off almost a dewy appearance, but it really is just kind of shimmery and sparkly and nice. Okay. Okay, so once you've done that, we're going to go for some e.l.f. Mineral Shadow. And that is a loose shadow, and the shade I'm using is called Wild. And if you see there, this has a lot of sparkle to it, a lot of shimmer. It's a shimmery, sparkly brown. And the sparkles are gold, so it kind of plays off this look pretty nicely. And I'm going to use my Low Cornell 1/4 brush, so it's a very small brush. And you want to use, see how it's flat like that? You've got to be careful and use flat brushes like that when you're dealing with loose shadows, because they can go everywhere. You can't use the same back and forth motion. You have to kind of pat it on, and so you'll see that technique here. I'm going to pat it on the outer portion of my lid here, and I'm going to pat it up to my crease and continue going outward a little bit, and we're going to develop that outer V here. Sorry. Okay. We'll go back and blend out the edge a little bit. That's a little different. You can, once you've got it on your eye, then you can deal with your blending process. But see how that's all kind of diffused? We'll get there. Just continue sort of applying the color in the general shape, and then we'll blend it out. And so that's a nice, it comes off nice and warm with the goldeny undertones, but still a nice brown shade that we can work with. And the beauty of this kind of thing, as you'll see here, is that this can really blend out quite a bit. So I'm going to use my Sephora rounded crease brush. Just use any crease brush you like. And just, I'm putting a very, very light touch on this. And just very lightly go around the edge. And see how we're getting more towards the look we have on the other eye there. Okay, there you go. And so then the last step here is to just do a highlight. So I'm going to go back to that shade in my CoverGirl Trio, the Shimmering Sands, this center color. And I'm just going to use that pretty much from our darker shadow all the way up to the eyebrow. And you can just use your rounded crease brush again if you want. Just kind of a fluffy brush that can cover a lot of surface area. And just go right up to the brow with that. And then we're going to go ahead and continue, just while we've got our shadow handy here, we're going to continue with that on the lower lash line here. We're going to grab that jumbo pencil, and this is going to seem a little bulky to go in here, so if you want, you can use like a small liner brush and actually go like that off of the this pencil and use it like that. But for me, I'm just going to be careful with it and just kind of just dot it a little bit. This is still a pretty light pencil, So I'm just going to sort of apply that like so, just under there, because I want to give my powder something to cling to. We're not actually going in with a liner pencil underneath this. We're going to go back to the e.l.f. shadow, the mineral shadow in Wild. Dip in that low Cornell brush once again. Dip it in like straight down, because we only want to really utilize the tip of this brush here for what we're doing, because we're wanting to kind of just pack that shadow right on top. And we wind up with kind of a shimmery look. The reason why I say use only the tip is because there is some sparkle in this, and unless you want fallout all over your cheek, you don't want to kind of go do the back and forth thing. Okay, so we got that little bit more depth down there, and if you want to, you can go ahead and take like a concealer brush and some light powder and go under that to kind of ensure that everything stays put. For our upper liner, I'm going to be using my Femme Couture liquid liner in brown. If you're not comfortable using a liquid liner, you can use a brown pencil liner, whatever you're comfortable with. The idea here is just to make it a very fine line. We want to really show off the shadow that's on our lid, not cover it up with a big thick line of eyeliner. So I'm keeping mine thin. If you have a gel liner that you'd like to use here, that would work too. I just curled my lashes real quick, and then I'm going to take my L'Oreal Telescopic mascara and do a quick coat of this on my lashes here. Then I'm just going to use a small amount on my lower lashes. Alright guys, that is the look. It's kind of a glam brown eye, and on the lips I used my L'Oreal lipstick in Eva's Caramel. It's the Eva Longoria signature lipstick. It's kind of a brownish tone with a little bit of red to it. And then over the top I used my Jordana lip gloss, and the shade is Lovely. So I just thought that kind of topped off the look, going not quite so nude, but keeping with, I mean, this is a look that you could do dressy if you had like a banquet to go to, or a date or party or something like that. I think this look would really work well, because it's slightly more dramatic, but not too over the top. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and have a great day.